Hello and welcome to our step-by-step video guide on how to get your medical cannabis card in Utah. Medical cannabis is new to a lot of patients, but it's not as difficult to get qualified as you might think. We hope that this video will help make it a little easier. Before applying, it is important to know if medical cannabis will be an effective treatment for your condition. The state of Utah has decided that the people most qualified to recommend medical cannabis are doctors of medicine, doctors of osteopathic medicine, advanced practice registered nurses, or physician assistants who are licensed to prescribe controlled substances. However, in order for these individuals to recommend medical cannabis, they must first complete the 4 hours of department-approved continuing education and register with the state to become a qualified medical provider, or QMP. We'll use this abbreviation to refer to this title in future references. Utah also recognizes the following list of conditions as being directly benefited from medical cannabis. If you are 21 years of age or older and have a qualifying condition, or are 18, 19, or 20 and receive department approval from the Compassionate Use Board, then you are eligible for a medical cannabis patient card. If you are under the age of 18, then you will need a parent or legal guardian who is 18 or older, is a resident of the state of Utah, and passes a criminal background check to first get their medical cannabis guardian card and petition the Compassionate Use Board. With department approval, you will be eligible for a provisional patient card. Now that we understand how the state is qualifying medical cannabis treatment, let's get into the step-by-step process of getting your card. Step 1 is to locate a medical provider who is registered to recommend medical cannabis. Alright, let's talk about this step a bit to better understand it. We'll start by asking the question, do you have a medical provider? In other words, do you see a doctor regularly, or have you seen a doctor at any point? If you are currently seeing a doctor, are they licensed as one of the 4 practices we talked about earlier, and are they registered as a QMP with the state? A quick call to your doctor's office will answer this question if you don't already know. If your doctor is licensed as one of the 4 practices we talked about earlier and is a registered QMP with the state, then you can schedule a health assessment to discuss whether medical cannabis would be right for you. If your doctor is licensed as one of the 4 practices we talked about earlier, but is not currently registered as a QMP with the state, then they can go onto the state's website to apply and become a QMP. You can still schedule an appointment with your doctor to discuss medical cannabis treatment even if they are not yet registered with the state, but they will ultimately have to wait until they are a registered QMP before they can complete their recommendation of medical cannabis through the state's electronic verification system. Alternatively, your doctor can refer you to another provider who is registered as a QMP, or you can find a list of QMPs registered with the state on the state's website. In either case, be sure to get a copy of your medical records, as you will need this for your meeting with your QMP. If you are not seeing a doctor regularly, then you can also find a list of registered QMPs on the state's website. Just remember to bring a copy of your medical record with you to the appointment. If you don't have a copy of your medical record, contact the office of the physician who last saw you. Great, now that we have located a QMP, it is time to schedule an appointment for a health assessment. Thankfully, this step is quite simple. During the visit, your QMP must complete a thorough assessment of your condition and your medical history and document it in your record. This is why it is important to have a copy of your medical records. If you are 21 years of age or older and have a qualifying condition, then the rest of the process should be relatively quick. If you are not 21 years of age or older or don't have a qualifying condition, but both you and your QMP think you could benefit from medical cannabis, then you can petition the Compassionate Use Board. Unfortunately, this does add time to the process, but thankfully it is still an option. Now that you have met with a QMP, and he or she agrees that you could benefit from medical cannabis, it's time to go online and apply for a card. Because your application will be online, you'll need a computer with internet access. This could be a desktop at home, a mobile phone with Wi-Fi or data plan, or you can go to your local public library. Just make sure that you know or have access to the following information before you go to apply. Once you are at a computer, open a browser like Chrome or Firefox and enter the following URL into the search bar. Alright, if you don't already have a Utah ID account, let's make one now. We'll start by clicking the Create an Account button. This will take us to a new page where we can register a new account using an email address. Enter your email address and click Submit. After clicking Submit, you'll be presented with a Validate email message which indicates that a validation email was sent to the email address you provided. Open your email in a new browser window or tab and click the Register New Utah ID Account message. Once you've opened the message, click on the Verify Email button. Enter your first and last name and a unique user ID. Now you need to create a secure password. This is the final step in creating your Utah ID account, and you will now be redirected to a login page where you can sign into your new account. Great, now that you have a Utah ID account, you can go onto the state's electronic verification system and create a profile to begin your application. Open a new browser window or tab and enter the following URL into the search bar. After the page loads, you'll see a button labeled "Click here to access the electronic verification system." Click on this button and you will be taken to a registration page. Now, click the Patient Registration button. Fill out the fields as required and click the Register button. Just make sure that the name you enter here matches the name on your government-issued ID. A Registration Complete pop-up will appear with a login link. Click the link. This will take you to your home page. Hover over the Tracking Inbox tab, which will reveal the Patient tab. Click on the Patient tab and this will open a new application page. Your selection in the Applicant Type field will of course depend on your role. If you are a patient 21 years of age or older, be sure to select "I'm applying for myself." If you are a parent or legal guardian, select the option "I am applying on behalf of my minor child." Fill in the rest of the application fields as necessary, just be sure not to fill out any fields marked "Official Use." Read the Patient Acknowledgement section and check the box. Now click the Save button. And you've done it, your application is now in and the hard part is behind you. Your status will change to Awaiting Certification and you'll get a new Patient Certification tab. This part is also quite simple. Your QMP can now go onto the EVS, create their profile, and submit their recommendation for treatment. Stay in touch with your QMP during this step so that you will know when you can log back in to pay your fee and avoid longer than necessary processing times. After your QMP submits their recommendation, log back into your EVS account. Hover over the Payment tab and then click on the New Payment option. When the New Payment dialog box opens, click on the button labeled "Click here to pay." Enter your credit card information and make sure your account information is correct. Check the option labeled "The Total Amount" and click Continue. Verify that your payment information is correct and click Yes. Now that you have completed payment, your status will change to Awaiting State Review. Alright, the state has reviewed your application and confirmed that all requirements have been met. Your status changes to Active and it's time to finally get your card. If you haven't already, log into your EVS dashboard. In the Patient tab, click the Print Card button. A PDF dialog box will open and you will have the option to save your card to the computer or print out a physical copy. Some medical cannabis pharmacies will be better able to serve you if you pre-register your card online with the pharmacy prior to your visit. Website information and phone numbers for each pharmacy can be found on the Department of Health's website. If this video was helpful, please like and share. Thanks for watching and stay safe, friends.